Good morning or afternoon, teacher and classmates. I'm in charge of the introduction and physics factor part of our presentation. First, look at this introduction slide. Houses protect us from bad weather and offers us private space to rest and stay with family every day. Good house design makes our life much more comfortable. It fixes the local nature's environment well and helps us save electricity and energy in daily life. For the reason, I will take about key physics factors that affect house design and use real Malaysia's housing example to explain this point clearly. Now let's check the physics factor one by one. Climate control, how we build houses from cooling and the rain protection. Geography changes the house foundation and overall layout based on the land shapes. Seed condition including slope and soil set limits on construction methods. Nature sunlight cut our use of electric lights and keep on rooms dry. Good ventilation push the hot and wet airs out of improved comfort. Take Malaysia's hot and humid climate as an example. Large windows bring in plenty of daylight and release the hot areas. Roof overhangs block strong sunlight and heavily rains to protect outdoor works. Opposite windows create close ventilations, lowering indoors humidity effectively. That's all my part. Thank you for listening.
Now I will talk about how society influences housing design. First, family size affects the number of rooms in a house. Larger families usually need more bedrooms and bigger shared spaces. Second, lifestyle changes have made open-plan living spaces more popular. These designs create a more comfortable and flexible environment for family activities. Third, the aging population has increased the demand for elderly-friendly homes. Features such as ramps and handrails help older people move around safely. Privacy needs are also important. Many families now prefer extra study rooms or quiet spaces for studying and personal activities. Finally, work from home trends have changed housing design. Many homes now include a home office to support remote work. In conclusion, housing design continues to change based on the needs of society, including family size, lifestyle, aging populations, privacy, and working habits.
Okay, now it's my turn, and I will focus on economic factors. Economic factors have a strong influence on the design and function of a house because housing is also a major financial decision. First, household income affects what type of house people can afford. Higher income families may prefer landed houses with larger spaces and private gardens, while middle or lower income families may choose apartments or condominium because they are more affordable. Secondly, house affordability shapes the size and layout of homes. When house prices are high, developers often design smaller but more practical units. For example, affordable housing projects usually focus on basic needs such as bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, and living areas. Third, construction cost affects the choice of materials and design. If land, labor, or material costs increase, developers may use cost-effective materials and simpler designs to reduce the final price. Finally, property market trends also influence housing. In areas where land prices are high, developers may build more high-risk apartments instead of landed houses to make better use of land. Overall, Economic factors shape housing by affecting what people can afford, what the developers build, and how homes balance cost, comfort, and function.
First, I will discuss cultural factors that influence house design and function. Culture affects how people use and organize their homes. For example, religious practices may require a prayer room or a prayer corner. In Malaysia, this is quite common because of our diverse religious backgrounds. Traditional lifestyles also influence house layouts. Many Malaysian families prefer separate dry and white kitchens, especially when preparing large meals during festive celebrations. In addition, multi-generational living is common in Asian societies, as grandparents often live with their children and grandchildren. Houses may include extra bedroom or ground floor rooms for elderly family members. Some homeowners also consider cultural beliefs, such as feng shui, when deciding the arrangement of rooms and entrances. Besides cultural factors, community value is another important consideration in housing design. A well-designed neighborhood should encourage people to connect with one another. Shared spaces such as parks, playgrounds, community halls, and working paths provide opportunities for residents to interact and participate in community activities. These interactions help develop a sense of belonging and strengthen relationships among neighbors. As a result, communities become more supportive, inclusive, and safer. Therefore, housing should not only meet the needs of individual families but also promote positive community values.
Next, I will introduce the impact of sustainability on residential design and functionality. Sustainability is an increasingly important consideration in modern residential design. It emphasizes meeting the living needs of residents while reducing the impact on the environment. To achieve this goal, many residential will install solar panels, rainwater collection systems, and energy-saving devices. In addition, designers will also make use of natural lighting and natural ventilation to reduce reliance on air conditioning and lighting equipment. These designs not only protect the environment but also reduce the long-term water and electricity expenses of families. Therefore, sustainability has become an important development direction in modern residential design. A residence is not merely a living space, it should also provide security for its residents. Therefore, modern residences are generally equipped with fire alarm, fire extinguishing equipment, and monitoring systems. Meanwhile, anti-slip floors, child safety facilities, and design suitable for the elder can also effectively reduce the occurrence of accidents. In addition, fenced communities and access control systems can enhance community security and reduce the risk of crime. Therefore, safety design is of great significance for improving the quality of life of residents. Finally, we can conclude that the design and function of residences are influenced by various factors such as physical, social, economic, and cultural ones. In addition, a good residential design should also take into account sustainability, safety, and community value. Only by achieving a balance among these factors can a residence provide residents with a comfortable, safe, and high-quality living environment. Therefore, modern residential design is not merely about building a living space but also about creating a living environment that is conducive to the development of individuals, families, and communities. Thank you all.